1 year ago, I made a video making Christina Tosi's milk bar crack pie. Didn't really know who she was at the time. I had just finished watching her Chef's Table episode and I was inspired by her, the food that she makes, and I thought, oh, why not make her crack pie? Tweeted it out to her and somehow she saw it and she liked it, she retweeted it, and she sent me a private message. Let me show you. Hey Jamie, I loved your video. I want to send you some goodies. What address can I use? Thanks for the support and keep crushing it. CT. As soon as I saw this, I was excited. I responded immediately. Let me show you. Christina, so glad you enjoyed it. Phew, I'd love some goodies. Don't forget to add the flour. Just a joke from the crack pie video. I forgot the flour. Here's my address, yada yada, Toronto, where I used to live. I never heard back. I anxiously waited a few weeks, a month for that box of goodies. It never showed up. And that excitement I had from her message quickly dwindled and it turned into disappointment. I tried reaching out again. I sent her another message, a follow-up. Crickets. Fast forward to present day, here we are. This is my 6th milk bar video and I need your help. What if you and I come together as a team, we reach out to Christina Tosi at the same time through Twitter, through Instagram, at Christina Tosi, mention my name, at Anti-Chef Jamie. Let's try to get these goodies. This wouldn't be just a victory for me, this would be a victory for us. Teamwork, what do you say? Will you help me? I'm gonna make a cake. The Milk Bar German Chocolate Jimbo Layer Cake. These milk bar cakes are like long novels. This one has 6 parts to it. So we're gonna start at the top with the chocolate cake. First thing you're gonna wanna do is preheat the oven. Simple.
350 degrees Fahrenheit is 176.7 degrees Celsius.
Second thing you're gonna wanna do, also pretty simple, grease and add parchment paper to a baking sheet. You're gonna want a big bowl. Add some butter and both sugars and mix on medium speed for a couple minutes. Until it's light and fluffy. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Light and fluffy. Add in your eggs one at a time. Heat on high for 4 minutes. What we have to do is keep on mixing this while we add the buttermilk, the vanilla. Need the tablespoon and the oil. Very slowly, you want to mix for another couple minutes until the mixture is practically white and twice the size. You got to combine the liquid and the fatty mixture into one so that there's no streaks or anything. I don't know why I've stopped mixing. I should keep mixing. It's not necessarily white. Kind of beige. In a separate bowl, combine your cake flour, your cocoa powder, oopsie, and your baking powder and salt. Whisk it together. I always make such a mess with these recipes. We're gonna add our dry ingredients into this wet mixture just until it comes together, but we gotta make sure there's no lumps of cocoa powder, flour, nothing. Mix on low. Scrape down the sides. Pour our mixture into our baking pan. Spread it evenly with our spatula. In the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. Poke the sides. There should be a slight bounce back and the center shouldn't jiggle. Next up, the coconut crack filling. This right here, this is corn powder. I grinded freeze-dried corn up into this powdery substance when I made my popcorn cake. This cake today requires a tablespoon of this corn powder. Right here, that is exactly a tablespoon. I don't know how I got so lucky. This is like the holy grail of ingredients today. I am guarding this with my life. First, Grease up a baking dish. If you have a loaf pan, do that. I don't, so I'm just using whatever I got. In our bowl, combine both sugars. That wasn't sugar, that was the milk powder. Oh, okay, that's okay. The other sugar, salt, and the very precious corn powder. Mix on low speed until evenly blended. Add our melted butter until everything is nice and moist. Add the vanilla and the heavy cream. Mix until all the white streaks of the cream have been completely disappeared, right? Add your egg yolks. This is homogeneous, glossy. Pour this into your pan. I gotta put this into a preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Yeah, this needs to set around the edges and jiggly in the middle. I don't know if that's gonna work in this pan, but I will do my damnedest. Into the oven. Dynamite. I gotta mix this with the shredded coconut. Just doesn't seem like the ratios are correct. Let's give it a shot. Let's just leave it at that. Coconut crack filling. Next on our hit list is the Pecan Crunch. I got some chopped pecans here. I'm gonna put them on a baking tray and put this in the oven. Now the time has come for me to talk about fuetine. Fuetine? I couldn't even find the pronunciation. Fuetine, fuel. I don't even know. I don't know how to pronounce it. Whatever it is, I don't have it, and it's kind of a tougher ingredient to find. You're gonna have to rely on the online shops and Amazon. I didn't really have the time or the patience to dig around the internet looking for it, so I actually found a video where Christina Tosi mentions if you don't have it, you can use cornflakes. This all works out. Once you have your pecans toasted, put them into your blender, your food processor, with some brown sugar, oil. We're gonna blend this up until it's a wet, sandy consistency. Now add your cornflakes and your pureed, blended pecan. What the hell step am I on now? I added some shredded coconut to a baking pan. I'm gonna put this into the oven just to toast it a little bit. This is gonna be added on top of the cake. I think I am on the chocolate frosting. Okay, I'm on the chocolate frosting. I really hope this is the last step. Let's add softened butter, your sugar, cocoa powder, some salt, vroom vroom. Now on the lowest speed, I'm going to stream in my whole milk. That is silky smooth. Next up is the malt cake soak. For that, we need whole milk and Ovaltine. Now, I don't really know a whole lot about Ovaltine. I think it's before my era. I don't think people drink it anymore, do they? I don't know. Add in your milk, 2 tablespoons of this Ovaltine. Get your cake, it's completely cooled off, flip it upside down. Make sure you have a cake ring, around 6 inches wide. We need to cut out 2 perfectly circular shapes out of this cake here, and then we're gonna reuse the scraps as the bottom layer. Here we go. This cake is perfect. You wanna shape your bottom layer scrap pieces into the vague shape of your cake ring, because those are going on the bottom. You're gonna wanna assemble all your Avengers over here. Take your cake ring, put it onto a plate. You're gonna need acetate, put it inside the cake ring. Give it a little tape job. This is your setup. First, let's start with the scraps. On the bottom, give it the old knuckle, pat it down. Malt cake soak, and soak this bottom layer. Take your coconut crack filling. It's not exactly spreadable, but you can use your imagination, sprinkling it on top. Pecan Crunch. Chocolate spread. Add another piece of cake. Oops, shit. That was total accident. The cake fell into the pit of despair. That was such a nice piece too. Do everything you just did on top of this second piece. Your top layer of cake. Add the frosting on the top. A little toasted coconuts. This needs to set in the freezer overnight. Of all the Milk Bar cakes I've made so far, that's the birthday cake, the popcorn cake. This one over here, my little buddy, he takes the cake. I'm sorry. It's hidden deep in the layers of this cake. It's the Pecan Crunch, it's the coconut crack filling, and it's that chocolate icing. Every time I make a dessert, I go, that's the best, or that's the best. No, that's the best. Move over, that's the best. I'm not gonna say that anymore, but that's the best. In the upcoming future, if you are deciding on making a cake, whether it's for a birthday, a loved one, or randomly on a Tuesday afternoon, do you remember what I said at the beginning of the episode? Us coming together as a team and reaching out to Christina Tosi through Instagram, through Twitter, whatever. Mention my name in this situation I find myself in, and maybe if we all speak up, we'll find a way to get these goodies over here. Those Milk Bar goodies. Let's make it happen. I'll see you soon.